All right. Cecilia Braekus snaps back at Claressa Shields. Disses her in a very subtle way, man. It's interesting how somebody's boxing personality and can be reflected in the way that they taunt people. And that's the case for both Cecilia Braekus and what she did and Claressa Shields in her response. I thought it's funny, man. I think it's really good for women's boxing. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. Hey, thank you guys, everybody, for your support. If you're watching this video, thank you for watching the video. Hope you watch it to the end. We're going to talk about Cecilia Braekus. We're going to talk about Claressa Shields. This is women's boxing. It's been a lot of fun going back and forth with people in the live stream community. By the way, we have live streams every day, Monday through Friday, and we have live streams on Sunday morning. It's OG Boxing Talk. But it's been a lot of fun going back and talking about women's boxing. I've been a women's boxing fan for a long time, and it's kind of hit and miss with women's boxing. It kind of peaks, it has its peaks, it has its valleys, and right now I think we're coming into a peak for women's boxing. In large part, it has to do in the United States has to do with Claressa Shields and Claressa Shields going through her Ronda Rousey marketing campaign. But hey, just because it's doing well for women's boxing and Showtime is supporting Claressa Shields doesn't mean like all the women boxers are going to like Claressa Shields for what she's doing. One of them is Cecilia Braekus. Now, I go back and forth a lot with people about this idea that Claressa Shields is the GOAT, right? The greatest woman of all time. I don't think that. Now, she might be one of the best. She's definitely one of the best female fighters that I've seen. And the women's boxing does not really have its history is nowhere near as rich, and the roster has never been anywhere near as deep as the men's division. So saying that you're the best woman fighter of all time, that's an easier hurdle to get over than men's boxing. When Floyd Mayweather Jr. says he's TBE, man, there's 200 years of people that with legitimate careers that point to a different conclusion. Now with women's boxing though, so Claressa Shields says she's the greatest woman of all time. There's a lot of people who are probably listening to this video. If you're going in and out with this argument, man, you're more than likely watching this video. A lot of you guys believe that Claressa Shields is. Okay, that's fair, because I mean, it's understandable, because you probably didn't know who Cecilia Braekus was until I started saying, hey man, there's this chick out here from Sweden or Norway, whichever one might be from Norway, that has a much deeper resume than Claressa Shields does. She's done everything Claressa Shields has done times several, with the exception of moving down in weight. She started at 147. She's been fighting at 147. She's got 100. She's undefeated with over 30 fights. She's had 23 fights, 23 title defenses of a unified championship. She's had 11 title defenses of an undisputed championship. And man, when you're talking about what people have actually accomplished in the ring, which is separate from then what do you think would happen if they both got in the ring together. But if you look at what they've accomplished in the ring, it is, it's comparing a tree to an acorn. It's just not tree to a sapling, put it that way. Cecilia Braekus is already set. She's already, they're letting women in the boxers in the Hall of Fame. Cecilia Braekus is in there. No problem, already done. She could retire tomorrow and do that. Claressa Shields is on her way to having a terrific career. Now, there's been a lot of talk in that whole conversation. There's been a lot of back and forth about Cecilia Braekus. And Cecilia Braekus, I hadn't heard her really say a lot, but she winds up dissing the tar so subtly disrespecting Claressa Shields, man. She takes a picture on Instagram with Laila Ali. Now we know we get into gossipy kind of catty type stuff, but hey man, it is what it is. It's fun. With the picture of Laila Ali, and it says something to the effect of, hey, I'm here with the real GWOAT. The real GWOAT, Laila Ali. Now, that is clearly a shot at Claressa Shields because it says the real GWOAT. Now, if you're not the real GWOAT, what are you? You the fake GWOAT. You're not the GWOAT. If you're the fake GWOAT, that means you're not the GWOAT. You're not the greatest woman of all time. She's saying Laila Ali is the greatest woman of all time. Now, I personally do not believe that Laila Ali is the greatest female fighter of all time. But Cecilia Braekus saying that is definitely a thumb in the eye to Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields comes back and says, why don't you come up to 154 so I can beat your scary ass? The personality, man, in the back and forth, the personalities of the two people reflect the fighting styles. Claressa Shields is somebody that's coming at you, is trying to hurt you, is throwing a lot of shots, just kind of rough, everything the same speed, don't hold back type of fighter. Trying to go, even though she ain't got very many knockouts, and that could have a lot to do with the fact that they're not 3-minute rounds, right? If they had 3-minute rounds, she had more time to hurt somebody. It might definitely over the course of, I think they fight 10 rounds, but the course of the 10 rounds, the chick can wind up getting put up out of there. Cecilia Braekus, though, her style was just to jab, boop, and move. So she was real indirect with it, setting up a feint, trying to get your head, feinting, trying to get you to hold your hand so she can punch you in the face. That type of boxing. Because Claressa Shields is more of a boxer, is a boxer puncher, boxer brawler boxer. And Cecilia Braekus is just a pure boxer. So just the interchange itself, I thought was hilarious. Putting Laila Ali in the middle of it, man, was a perfect taunt. Cause they were both like, you can hear what they say, man. Let's fuck with her, man. But I think at the end of the day, they probably both of those older ladies probably have respect for Claressa Shields and what she's doing. But look, one is 39 years old, the other one is in the 40s. Claressa Shields just, and here's the thing, you know, Cecilia Braekus is about ready to retire. Laila Ali's been retired for a decade probably, and Claressa Shields ain't getting a fight with either one of them, okay? She's not gonna there's not enough money to pull Laila Ali out into a fight, and she ain't been in a fight in a decade. That's silly. Cecilia Braekus is not moving to 154 pounds. She said when she was 168 pounds, like, yeah, the problem with Claressa Shields is the size. She's too big. Guess what? The fact that she lost water weight, she lost some water weight, a bunch of water weight, and can weigh in at a lower weight doesn't mean that she's any less big than she was originally. And Cecilia Braekus don't need to fight. Cecilia Braekus can fight somebody that does not have an unfair size advantage against her in Katie Taylor. And she thinks that fight with Katie Taylor on the zone is gonna pay more money. So that's what she's gonna do. Claressa Shields is just stuck looking at a couple women. And by the way, do want to correct something that's out there. Cecilia Braekus was offered close to $500,000 to fight on Showtime, when Claressa Shields is paid $300,000 in her last fight on Showtime. Cecilia Braekus walked away from the fight on Showtime because she didn't want to walk in the ring for less than $1 million. Cecilia Braekus is making a decent amount of money, and she's from Norway, and it's kind of like she's a big thing in boxing in her own country. So there's plenty of ways for her to make money and make a living out there in Norway. Laila Ali has been doing well. Those two women are both fully established in their life. Claressa Shields is not going to be able to bait either one of them into a fight with her. Claressa Shields is just going to have to deal with whoever it is that she's able to fight, continue to build her resume, continue to say you're the GWOAT. I don't mind her saying it. right? And eventually, she knocks off enough people and does that long enough, and she might actually convince me. It's just not anything that I'm gonna fall. I'm not gonna fall for it right now. Like, nah, I don't see that right now. However, over time, she very well can do it. And I don't mind her with all this talk, and that is the Ronda Rousey act, man. And I'm sure, and now it fits Claressa Shields, and I do believe that's in her personality, but man, it's a little bit of Ronda Rousey going on in here, but it's gonna wind up paying off for her because it keeps her name out there and all that good stuff. And I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all for her. And I love this energy around women's boxing because I think women's boxing definitely deserves it. It hadn't been this much talk around women's boxing since Laila Ali fought. Cecilia Braekus came up in boxing, but she came up in Europe. She had a lot of, she has a lot of press coverage and a lot of that stuff over there in Europe. And she is just breaking into the United States. But anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.